Hello guys. Welcome to my channel, Jura Tempest Federation. In our previous episode we have witnessed first 3 rounds battle. If you have not watched previous episode, I will put link in description below. The quick warning, this video contains spoilers from light novel. But before we proceeding further, please like, subscribe to my channel and hit notification bell for further update. Now without further delay, let's proceed further. And the winner is Datta. Sokka's announcement echoed loudly in the arena. The audience proceeded to give Datta a round of applause and cheers. It appeared that everyone agreed with the adjudication. The summoning this time was not considered foul play. No way. Datta's mumbling was overwhelmed by the loud cheering of the crowd. No one was gonna hold him accountable. Is this really okay? In my humble opinion, summon spells are within the rules, so I believe it's fine. If even Rigor said so, I'd let it pass. Then again, Manga entered the tournament. Should that be a foul regardless? Prior to that, Datta would have had no chance in surviving the 4th round of the tournament. But with Manga fighting alongside him, it had become far more difficult to predict the outcome. But upon recalling my original intention of testing out Masayoki's ability, things could actually be heading in a direction that I originally wanted. Alright, let's not think too much about it. I had decided to adopt a more open-minded spirit and let things flow. Round 4. Bell vs Lion Mask, the fight I was personally looking forward to. Kukuku, looks like I finally get to have a fun all-out brawl. Lion Mask looked ecstatic. I never expected to have the chance to duel such a great warrior. I am indeed lucky. Do indulge me to battle against you, and please allow me to fight with all I have. Geld finished, as he took off the armor on his upper body and raised his fists. Ho, you wanna fight me barehanded? Alright, I'm good at unarmed combat anyway. Agreeing to Geld's invitation, Lion Mask prepared himself as well. A duel that would probably go down in history as one of the most exciting to date unfolded. There was a clash of fists. That alone caused a huge shockwave that stirred up a whirl of wind on the stage. Geld was not even using his legs, but instead relied on grappling and throwing punches to fight his opponent. He was maintaining balance by sliding his feet along the ground to take steps, unshaken by whatever blows he received. That was the thing. I had seen it in boxing manga, the crouching stance where you raise both fists in front of your face to protect your head. Such a defensive style can be compared to an iron wall. Moreover, you can strike when the opponent is least prepared. Not only is it a method to stall the enemy, but you also keep the potential to strike with explosive force. If you consider the lower half of the body to be the turret, the momentum of the entire body is accumulated at the fist before a strike is unleashed. The fists were not the only threat. Geld could also use his shoulder to bash the enemy, and combining certain attacks could lead to a suplex. He was like a heavy tank. On the other hand, Lion Mask was the all-rounder with attacks that varied in style. His physique was every bit as strong as Geld's, delivering equal amounts of brute force. But in this world, the amount of magicule one possessed was much more important than physical appearance. That was why Lion Mask outmatched Geld. But even still, he was unable to take down Geld. That went to show just how outstanding Geld's defense was. A crescent kick that could shatter a boulder into pieces, connected with Geld's arm. His opponent was apparently trying to knock him down, but Geld didn't seem to budge. It was almost as if he was saying, go ahead, bring on a new attack. Lion Mask then launched a barrage of hand chops and punches from almost every angle. These were also accompanied by a flurry of roundhouse kicks and axe kicks, among other things. Strike after strike, he was so fast that it almost appeared like he had doubles. Those consecutive attacks landed fast, yet none seemed to be hitting home while Geld was on guard. Ha! You're pretty good. My attacks landed on you like a gentle breeze. Haha, I should be the one to complain. You leave me absolutely no chance to counterattack. All of your attacks seem to be thrown out in disarray, yet every one of them is so skillfully executed. Geld replied to him with a sense of regret in his tone. Right now, he was still able to hold up, but he would eventually get beaten down, if this were to continue. As expected from Lion Mask, his strength was as authentic as it gets. Moreover, I had yet to see the depths of his power. It was as if he were relentlessly firing attacks from outside of Geld's range, aiming to penetrate his defense like an attack helicopter. It was obvious which side had the advantage, but victory was not solely determined by strength. Sometimes it came down to luck. So, who would Lady Luck favor this time? This duel had boosted the atmosphere within the arena to maximum hype. So strong. Holy shit, this is insane, yo. Someone hollered while grasping a handful of fries. Others were screaming excitedly, their faces beat red from all of the beer. The audience had also realized how strong the two truly were. Roaring cheers thundered throughout every corner of the Colosseum. Geld had the style of a handsome prodigy, while Lion Mask gave off a dominating aura that, alone, was enough to attract the audience's attention. It seemed that the two had now become the most popular contestants of the tournament. Their duel raged on for several rounds more, yet a victor had yet to be determined. As one attacked and the other defended, the match proceeded with both sides holding up on equal ground. The stalemate persisted for another 30 minutes. Saka was also brimming with excitement, broadcasting the battle between the two vigorously. The referee, Diablo, on the other hand, monitored their battle with an intently serious eye. Another 20 minutes passed. I didn't expect you to last so long against me. You have my approval. This is my honor. To be praised by a great man such as you. Let's skip the formality. By the way, I've got a question for you. Ask away. Why didn't you use any skills? There was no need. Since your highness won't show your true form either. Although you just called me a great man, are you seriously intending to win this match? How interesting. It's true that I can't reveal my true identity to the outside world, so I guess I'll just have you witness what I'm good at instead. I had indeed been wondering why Geld wasn't using skills this entire time, so this was the reason. While battling Lion Mask, Geld wanted to make a point of winning while restrained under the same conditions. Lion Mask actually Carrion could have shown off his true skill through bestialization. But because he was in disguise, he probably wouldn't fight with all of his heart. Geld was aware of this, that's why he had refrained from using his unique skills Guardian and Gourmet, instead, relying purely on his body. However, perhaps another reason for that was that he didn't want to reveal his abilities in front of the crowd. After all, a certain anonymous message also mentioned the same thing. Carrion had seemingly agreed to keep his true ability concealed, so as not to reveal his real identity. With that being said, Carrion was still very strong. An ordinary monster imagined couldn't hope to match him. His power had already exceeded even the likes of greater spirits. Carrion, who already possessed such strength, apparently decided to show a glimpse of his actual skills. Get ready, here it comes. The flood of golden Yauki emerged, concentrating around Carrion's right fist. There was an after-image of it piercing through both of Geld's arms. Its power was incredible. Geld's hands were instantly flung apart in opposite directions, leaving his body wide open. Carrion's right fist went straight to Geld's chest, one of his vitals. The shock ran up and down through Geld's entire body, forming a destructive torrent of physical damage. Impressive, looks like this is as far as I can go, Geld wheezed, before stumbling. But he didn't fall, managing to totter toward the edge of the arena. Diablo went forth to support Geld while signaling Saka with his eyes. The match is over. Contestant Lion Mask has won. The Colosseum erupted in thunderous cheers, and, moreover, they were joined by deafening applause. People weren't holding back their admiration for their duel. That move was called the Roaring Lion Punch. You should feel proud, Geld. Not only did you survive being hit by one of my ultimate moves, you even managed to stay on your feet and kept moving. I do hope that one day I'll be able to fight you seriously. Just what I was thinking. I haven't had a good fight like this in ages. Geld and Carrion exchanged their feelings with their eyes. It seemed that the two of them not only now acknowledged each other, but they also cherished the experience. To both of them, that was no real duel. Indeed, had the two both been serious and used their full set of skills, the match may have resulted differently. However, this time, it was Carrion's victory and Geld's defeat. I still wish to praise Geld for a job well done. The resounding cheers were proof of that. It was a truly magnificent match, after all. I applauded alongside the rest and saw Geld off the stage. All 4 matches had ended, and it was time for the intermission. When the midday break was over, we would proceed to round 2. The winners of round 1 would be fighting each other, but the fatigue they accumulated from before would likely affect the outcome of the match. We did give the contestants healing potions, and their physical wounds would be healed, but the amount of magicule they had left couldn't be judged purely by their appearance. People were still entranced by the excitement of the morning matches, as the 5th battle of the day was about to start on the center stage. There, gambling over the right to participate in the final, chosen hero Masayuki would battle Gozer. Now then, we shall see whether Masayuki really has what it takes in this match. I got the impression that Masayuki's feet were shaking. Could this be the battle excitement they talk about? When looking carefully, you could see that his neck was drenched in sweat as well. Is Masayuki really as strong as Hinata? I don't feel like that's the case, no matter how I see it. Halfway through my observation, Gozer, with a microphone in his hand, began to speak. So, you are the chosen hero who wants to go against His Majesty Rimuru. Your ignorance and arrogance are truly pathetic. This was his attempt to taunt him. But Masayuki only responded with a cold smile, but, to put it bluntly, his mouth was twitching. He ignored Gozer's words, and reached his hand out towards Saka. As requested, Saka passed the mic to Masayuki. You fought pretty well. So? Not only did he remain unprovoked by the taunt, Masayuki decided to praise his opponent. It seemed he was more mature than I imagined. That being said, this is very regretful. Regretful? What's regretful? Masayuki had made the announcement to Gozer with a tone that held no intention of fighting. What is he trying to say? Had you been in your optimal state, I would have wanted to fight you seriously. But after the fight just now, you must have used up most of your strength, didn't you? That is truly a shame. So, it turned out that before the fight even began, he had announced that he wouldn't fight seriously. Although his tone sounded genuine, could those just have been excuses? What are you trying to say? Nothing really. I simply feel that I wouldn't be content, even if I won against you right now. Is it true, what I heard, that you've been appointed as the labyrinth boss by Demon Lord Rimuru? You seem to dislike that and wanted to be among the 4 heavenly kings. That's not true at all. His Majesty wanted Mezzer and I to be the bosses of level 50 of the labyrinth. That was, of course, an honorable role. We simply wish to pursue a higher goal, that is all. Really? Unfortunately, in my opinion, that man called Geld just now was supposed to be the one strong enough to receive the title of the 4 heavenly kings. He first praised his opponent before looking down on him. What's Masayuki's game? If you fight me now, I'll be the one who wins. But if I fight you at your peak strength, whoever emerges victoriously may be up in the air. You may even have the upper hand in an environment such as the labyrinth. I simply feel that obtaining a hollow victory from fighting you here would be a downright pity. Oi, could it be that Masayuki isn't planning to fight him at all? I want to challenge the dungeon here as well. However, these are 2 separate matters, compared to fighting the Demon Lord. So how about it? Shall we wait until then, to decide who's the better, where you could face me when you are at your best and more prepared? There was no other way. Masayuki was acting as if he had vast power to spare, but in my opinion, he was afraid of fighting Gozer. Was he really trying to convince Gozer not to fight by talking his way out of it? I ordered Datta and Geld to test Masayuki's strength, yet Gozer was not aware of this. That's why he might just, haha. I've gotten a taste of your generosity already. You read that correctly, right now I've got no more strength to spare. My battle with Mezzer was a narrow victory. Fine then, I'll take your word for it, and await you in the labyrinth. Wow, it seriously turned out like this. This Gozer, he seriously just accepted Masayuki's proposal, and even went on to shake hands with him, while sporting a placid smile. Upon seeing this, the audience reacted with excitement as well. Generally speaking, when people leave the stage without fighting, the audience would usually start cursing and complaining. But, for some reason, this time they were met with applause and cheers. Some were praising Masayuki for being generous, others were lauding Gozer for recognizing Masayuki's honorable character. An incredible outpouring of solidarity flooded the entire Colosseum. I don't get it. I honestly don't get it. No matter how I looked at it, Masayuki was just bluffing. Yet in the eyes of the audience, it somehow became a noble act. Masayuki seemed to have that kind of charm. No, hold on. If I thought of it that way, maybe even I would have been fooled. Could all of this have been an act? He must have been afraid that I would see his true ability, and made sure to keep it hidden. This would explain why he tried to avoid fighting Gozer. Now I couldn't be careless at all. Since Masayuki had made it through this match, he would be the one to enter the final. The next match was between Datta and Carrion Lion Mask. No one would be surprised by that match's outcome. Against the Sex Demon Lord, how far would this young kid, that called himself the chosen hero, be able to take it? Now that I think about it, the way this has developed may not even a bad thing. I reassured myself with those words, and sent Masayuki off alongside bursts of applause. That's it for today, guys. See you next one. For further more update, please like, share and subscribe. And do not forget to push notification bell.